mechanics of today. Even if he's unknown to much of the public, he should be considered as the father of robotics. He was the first to introduce the concept of programming. This is the design. Now, let's take a modern day look at Al Jazari's ideas. Is the sound coming through?
Yeah, it is.
Now, let's take a modern day look at Al Jazari's ideas. Now, let's take a modern day look at Al Jazari.
What's robot industry? What do you do? To inspire, communicate, interact, and entertain. Not like you gentlemen.
Could you not play the video?
Okay. Sorry? Hello?
Sorry, is it working now? Go ahead. Sorry, try again. Omer?
Okay.
Yeah,
So
sorry. I don't know what happened.
Look at Al Jazari's ideas. And if you didn't know, this is actually a show from Dick and Dom from CBBC.
Well, that's because I'm not just any old robot. I'm robot-vested. What's robot industry? What do you do? I am a fully programmable interactive humanoid robot designed to inspire, communicate, interact, and entertain. Not like you gentlemen, I am at heart a performer.
Well, yes, we can see that. But have you heard of this genius engineer, Al Jazari, who invented an early kind of robot hundreds of years ago?
Oh, yes, the great Al Jazari. He is responsible for some of my distant ancestors. Of course, robotics has come a long way since those days.
Yeah, but what we want to know is who invented you?
No.
Next. Let's look at his philosophies, methods, and inventions. He was the one of the do-it-yourself and maker philosophies. Surprisingly, he based all his inventions on a trial and error method. He is only one of the inventors to do so, since many based their inventions on others' theories and others' ideas. Some designs and inventions made by him. The flush design. A musical toy. The clock. The elephant clock. Now, the elephant clock was a smart piece of work. Sure, you can't put it on your wrist, but it was an interesting piece to watch. You can find a replica in Dubai, in the Ibn Battuta Mall, one of the many hundred malls in Dubai. Here is a video of the mechanism.
This is a water raising machine, which shows us a fantastic original principle of how to convert a rotary motion into a linear motion, which you can find in so many machines today. As the animal turns this round, it's converting the motion up and down.
So basically what's happening is that a circular motion is then being turned into an up and down motion.
Yes.
Very good.
Now, on Al Jazari's original water raising machine, there would have been a kind of big spoon at the end of the rod to scoop up the water.
This ingenious device uses what's known as a crank and connecting rod mechanism. And Al Jazari was a pioneer in using this system.
And that engineering principle is used in lots of machines today.
Can we see this in the modern day?
Yeah,
Right, back in a moment, President. Don't go anywhere.
Gist of all, she loves a good experiment.
This will show you a modern day example of what this would look like.
Where are we? Right, where's Fred?
Well, that's not bad, isn't it? Isn't it just...
Al Jazari would actually recognise. Oh, right. Connecting rod mechanism, yeah? Oh, yeah, okay. The other way around, you can have one part of it going from side to side or up and down, and that causes another part of the machine to start rotating or turn around and around. Okay. And that is basically how tractors work. Let's take a look underneath. Oh, okay. Okay.
Oh, very oily.
Oh, can you see it?
Yeah.
So you see that thing going round and round?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the crankshaft.
Okay.
And that eventually turns the wheels of the tractor.
Yeah.
But connected to the crankshaft are connecting rods. And they're what make the crankshaft go round and round.
I see.
They go up and down.
You can see them connected to the pistons.
Yeah, it goes.
Yeah.
Up again. Right, so here are the pistons, and can you see them going up and down?
Oh, yeah.
Now these pistons are connected to the connecting rods, that's why they're called connecting rods, and then they make the crankshaft turn around, which makes the wheels of the tractor move.
Ah, that goes right back to Al Jazari then.
Yeah, and it's not just tractors that use this mechanism. Every single modern car makes its wheels turn in this way.
Yeah, cheers, Fran. Well, we best go because we have got a professor waiting for us.
Cheers.
How cool is that? Cars, the things we use nearly every single day, was made by none other than Al Jazari. Now, I'll show you where this is placed in the elephant's clock. So this little tower piece turns around, and this means the clock actually works itself. Now, I would like to conclude on the note that I think we should all recognize on how much of an impact Al Jazari has had in our lives, even though we may not know it. For example, the toilets that we use every single day was designed by him. And as I said before, if it weren't for him, we'd probably still be dumping all our waste into the streets. Jazakallah khairan for viewing my presentation, and I'd like to ask some questions to everyone.
Great. Excellent. Questions, go ahead, fire away.
Wait,
You ready? You can answer the questions in the chat, guys.
So what did I name Al Jazari? I gave him a nickname. What did I call him?
Let's see if everyone was listening. Anybody?
Somebody said don't know.
Yeah, we got a message. Somebody said don't know. That's a good answer. Don't know. Anybody else want to guess? I know the recording was bad in the beginning. That we had a problem.
Said the goat.
The goat?
Okay, correct.
Is that correct? Well done. Excellent.
It was said that he did one thing. I said it on the beginning of the slide. What was it?
That he did one thing?
Yeah. I said it was actually 4 things. It was like a quote on the beginning slide.
Okay.
Introduction.
Maybe if you can mention even one of them, of the 4. Anybody remember?
Correct. The first one, correct. He worshipped.
Worshipped. Right?
Do you want to take a guess, Doctor?
I wasn't paying attention. I'm really sorry. I was trying to fix the audio.
Correct. Invented. He worshipped.
Go ahead. Anybody?
Engineering and robotics.
Engineering and robotics. Excellent. Is that
Correct.
right?
Yeah.
Brilliant. They're really paying attention.
Now, what was the basic mechanism or the basic thing that we use in our lives? What was invented by Al Jazari? I'll give you 4 options.
Toilet.
The flush toilet. Okay, correct.
Wow.
Paying attention. Okay,
Amazing.
I showed you something very modern, but this was the concept of this was actually invented by Al Jazari, and it's not fully made, but it's in the process of being made. I mean, there are loads of stuff of it, but it's not fully made.
Vengeance.
Wrong. Sorry, it was Mariam got it right. It was robots.
Robots.
Next, what was his philosophy? What was he? I'll give you 4 options. Do it yourself. He thought. Okay, Sulafa got it right. What did he base his methods on? Trial and error, on others' inventions and bases and theories? Okay, correct. People are actually listening.
Yeah, they're paying because you're a brilliant presenter. You're
Apart
excellent.
from the
That's
flush
why.
design and the elephant clock, what else did he make? I'll give you the clue. I'll give you a clue. The initials were AMT. It was at the end, just before the water raising machine.
Algebra.
Sorry,
Algebra.
incorrect.
Can you repeat the question, please?
Robot.
Other than the flush design and the elephant clock,
The next train to arrive at platform.
what else did he make?
Robots.
Sorry, wrong.
Can I
Your
guess?
hairline.
Can I guess?
Yeah,
Is it the crankshaft?
wrong. It was the musical toy.
Ah, the musical toy. Is that the elephant one?
No, it was like. Wait, let me show you. I'll show you. It was this.
A musical toy.
Yeah, it was the musical toy. Next, let's see.
Clock. Somebody wrote clock.
Oh no, I just gave the answer. It was a musical toy.
Great.
If we didn't have the flush toilet, I said we'd still be doing that one thing, and that would cause another thing. So can you please name these 2 things?
Your hairline.
Wrong. Okay, so Saluji got it correct. The question was, if I said Al Jazari created one thing and it was another thing that would be caused. Waste on street. Okay, correct. But what was the thing that was created to stop it? Correct. Okay, so you lot been paying attention really. Let me give you a really hard question. I'm not sure if you lot would have picked this up. I made a pun about the elephant clock. What? Name the pun.
Is it your hairline?
No. Anyone? It was a pun. Mariam got it very close. It was very close to that. No, Mariam was correct. Well, not correct. It was very close. You can't wear it on your wrist. That was part 1. I'll give you a clue, but it was, and then just 3 words.
Somebody wrote watch and clock.
Nah, but it was about the elephant clock. Anyone?
Is it the car?
No.
Anyone else? And
10
then I've got a question for everyone about Al Jazari. Where was Al Jazari born and where did he die?
roughly in the area of Iraq, and he died in, I can't remember.
Ah, I've got Turkey.
Oh, I'm not sure.
Apparently he was born in Turkey. Mesopotamia might have been a different geographical area, but apparently he was born in Turkey and died in Turkey.
I heard he was born in roughly the area of Iraq, but it wasn't made like it wasn't named Iraq at the time.
Ah, okay, possibly. Anyone else want to check that? Somebody wrote Pakistan. I doubt he was. I doubt it was Pakistan.
Yeah, he might have died in Turkey, but I'm not too sure.
And somebody wrote Germany. Come on, guys. Okay, you know that the thing I loved about your presentation was you embedded the videos in there. You got really good presentation skills. You're very confident, and you know your stuff. That's what's really important. You really did your background research. Somebody's mentioned he was born in Iraq, so I don't know where the Turkey thing's coming from. I just Googled it, to be honest. So I
said Somali.
Yeah.
Guys, do better.
Yeah, no, it says in Wikipedia apparently Turkey, but that's probably wrong then. But so it's not from Somalia, whoever wrote that. I can tell you.
Yeah, I do a Storytime channel as well.
Yes, I know. I've seen your. Can you add the link to your Storytime channel? Because your stories are amazing.
Exactly.
So this young man narrates stories on YouTube. So if your kids are getting bored, please subscribe to his channel and watch his videos. Can you add the link here, please, in the message?
Put the link.
Yeah, so that we can all watch your. Somebody said great presentation. Somebody said great presentation. I said, well, you're getting a lot of praise, young man. Well done. I've got another presenter after this. Don't go away though. We'll come back. Is Abdul Rashid here? Hassan Abdul Rashid or Umair? If you're here, come forward. Just say hello, say salam, and we'll put you on next. Anybody here? I did get a message from somebody, a mom. There is the next presenter. Hello, where are you? Are you coming up now? Oh, yeah, you've put your YouTube video there, Umair? Yeah. Who is the next person? Have we got the next presenter? You can just unmute yourself if you're there. I'd like to get one on Fatima. Is that the next presenter? Is that the next presenter there, guys? Rafi, are you a presenter?
Oh no, that's my dad.
I know. Let's put someone else on while I wait for the next presenters. Does anybody else want to say something about the Muslim Scientist video or the presentation, this great presentation we've just had? Or give me your own insights into what you know about Muslim history. So your own history. This is European Muslim history, Muslim Spain. Who can tell me how long Muslims ruled in Al-Andalus or Muslim Spain, which was also Portugal and south of France? Who can tell me how long Muslims ruled Spain? 500 years?
100.
So how long was that?
100.
100 years? Oh. Any other guesses? 600? 700? In the messages, anybody else? I will tell you. So anybody know?
It fell.
Yeah, the Muslims
under
entered Spain. 900. Somebody said 900. So it's about 850 years. And what year did the Muslims enter Spain? Does anybody know? Any guesses?
711.
711, yeah, 711. 711, and then around about, I think it was 1452, King Ferdinand, Queen Isabella kicked all the Muslims out, and that was the end of a legacy. But in that legacy, all these great inventions and the basis of civilization, the basis of, does anybody know what the Renaissance is? The Renaissance.
Heard of it, but can't remember exactly.
Who knows what the Renaissance is? Who can tell me? Somebody said I do. Who can tell me what the Renaissance is? Leonardo da Vinci, not DiCaprio, Leonardo da Vinci and all these guys.
Wasn't it like the rediscovery of like philosophy and art?
Yeah, good.
Like the Industrial Revolution, but it was like a revolution of philosophy and all.
Revolution of everything. It was the awakening of Europe, or you could say Western civilization. But the Western civilization was only, the Renaissance was only possible due to Muslim Spain. Does anybody know why that's a fact? And why was it that the work that the Muslims had done for 800 years was the reason why Europe was able to rise from the Dark Ages? Anybody know how and why?
Was it because of like Muslim inventors who created like algebra and all?
Yeah. And also the works that the Muslims had done. And don't forget, when the Muslims were doing this work, a lot of Jews and Christians and pagans and non-Muslims were working in these universities and working with the Muslims. So a lot of the inventions were done by non-Muslims living with the Muslims. But the idea is that the civilization allowed everyone to thrive and live in peace. And so those books that were written in Arabic were translated. Does anybody know where they were translated? Anybody know?
Was it Spain?
There were hundreds of thousands of books in each library. Some libraries had millions of books, handwritten books, on every subject you can think of. And those were then, a lot of the libraries were burnt down, but a lot of them were preserved, and they were translated into Latin, Germanic languages, and then they became the beginning of the Renaissance. You can understand it like this. The knowledge base was there, and then it was a lot easier to progress because a lot of the hard work, like you said, algebra and the sciences, mechanics, all of this was already, the groundwork was already done by the Muslims. So they translated it, and it really helped Europe and its Renaissance and its revival it to becoming what it is today. Up until today, we have a lot to thank the Muslims of Spain and elsewhere, Baghdad, and many of the centers of learning in the Muslim world for this.
Was it Spain or Algeria?
So the Muslims of Spain were a separate entity, you could say, because obviously there was the parting, the sea between them and Morocco and Tunisia and Algeria and all these lands of North Africa. So it was quite independent, but there was a connection with the rest of the Ummah, the rest of the Muslim world. So yeah, but can anybody tell me a bit more about Muslim Spain? Anybody know anything about that?
I do.
Yeah.
About it.
That baby's absolutely right. You're absolutely right. I agree with you. Yeah. I'm gonna have to mute the cute baby. Sorry. I'll have to mute the baby. All right. So, does anybody know any other Muslim scientists from Spain, from Al-Andalus?
Razi.
Many things were created there. Somebody put question mark. Is that a comment or a question?
Ibn Sina.
Fatima al Fihri.
Fatima al Fihri was not from Muslim Spain, but from Tunisia, and so North Africa. But yes. Who else? Ibn al-Rashid, first Muslim eye surgeon.
Oh, yeah. So how do you type?
Ali al-Hussein ibn Abdullah.
Whoever's talking, we can all hear you.
Ali al-Hussein.
I'll kick you.
Was it?
Ibn al-Haytham. Zakaria's got the books. Where are your books?
Ibn al-Haytham? Yeah.
The most scientist books.
What did he do?
I don't know.
What did he do?
No, there's someone on the shelf.
What would he was an astronomer, right?
Ibn al-Haytham. Was he? Yeah, I think he was.
Astronomer?
I think Mrs.
Ibn al-Haytham, I think he was the father of optics, if I'm not wrong.
Yes, he was optics.
Yeah, the father of optics, and the reason why you take selfies and use the phone.
Ice cream cones.
Sorry?
Somebody said he created ice cream cones.
Oh, he created the ice cream cone.
Guys, you can do that.
He. Lucky him. Somebody. Okay, somebody said he. Okay. So we wouldn't have toilets. We wouldn't have. A great book on this is 1001 Inventions, which is published with National Geographic. If you can get that book for the kids that are bored in the summer, it's very inspirational. I'll write it down here. 1001 Inventions. Great book. If you can get that book, and you'll see it wasn't just science, it was fashion, clothes, architecture, city planning, everything that you can think of. The Muslims worked really hard to do. So who can answer this question? Why is it that when I go to Pakistan now, or if you go to Somalia or Bangladesh, why doesn't it look anything like Muslim Spain?
Can you repeat the question?
Why don't we invent things anymore?
Mommy, put your legs out now.
Maria's being our nurse.
Is that
most of the inventions are now done in the West?
Colonized and what you call it, victimized.
Victim.
People, I think it's just like that because Western civilization has grown so much and Western civilization is getting the credit. I think there are people inventing, Muslims inventing stuff, but I think it's just that Western civilization are getting all the credit and then the Muslims can't be asked, and they're just like feeling fed up that they won't get what they want. They don't get the credit that they need.
I mean, the thing is, statistically, the contribution currently of Muslim countries to science and technology and advancement in different areas is very, very negligible in terms of our contribution academically, working, collaborating with other universities and in academia and research is very, very weak. That's the reality. Yeah. I know we might want to feel like victims, but we need to do a lot more work in terms of following our glorious past. So I think one of the reasons is we're not really interested in research. We're more interested in careers. And for example, if you become a medical doctor, you're not going to change the world. You're going to prescribe medicine. If you become a researcher or a scientist, then you can change the world. So it's our mindset as well needs to change in terms of the importance of contributing to the world and making a difference like these people did. Like one great lady, Fatima al Fihri, Allah reward her. Because of her, we have universities today. Or because of Jazari, we have engineering, we have the crankshaft, we have cars, we have water pumps because of the work of Jazari. So it's about a mindset, and not necessarily that we always blame the West for everything. We have to take some responsibility for our weaknesses. Now because we can revive that greatness. We can do it. As with people like you, young people like you, who really want to make a difference and change the world. So we really can do that. But we got to be interested in adding value, changing society for the better. So as Muslims, we're not just about praying, going to the masjid, and it's more about overall being a Muslim that benefits the world. And that's what Muslims did before. They were always there to benefit the world. Somebody wrote, I think the first world map was created by Muslims. Yeah, there's a lot of maps that were created by Muslims. It said that Christopher Columbus went to the Alhambra Palace in Spain, Muslim Spain, and he was given the instructions from there to go and quote unquote discover America. America was already there and there were millions of people already living there. And it said that the maps that he used were drawn up by cartographers, Muslim cartographers, and they used those maps to reach the shores of what we call America today. It's not, it's a different topic for another day, but the thing is, if you ever go to Alhambra Palace and if you go to Spain, you really feel the loss. You feel the loss of how we were beneficial to the world and how we were heroes to the world. People used to want to be like us. I'll give you an example. Has anybody heard of the island of Sicily?
Yeah, I have.
Anybody heard of the island of Sicily?
I have.
Where is Sicily? Anybody tell me?
It's in Europe, right?
In Europe, whereabouts? I've muted everybody else because they're getting too many babies crying. Can anybody tell me where it is?
It's just around Italy.
It's an island off the coast in Italy. So it's an island, belongs to Italy. And they have a clear identity. They don't even want to be called Italian. But the thing about Sicily is there's still mosques there and Muslim history there. And what's really interesting is that even when the Muslims had been, either they were forced to become Christians or they were literally thrown into the sea. And there's a terrible history of what happened to the Muslims that remained. Once they had lost power in Spain. They were not allowed to fast, they were not allowed to pray. There was lots of restrictions, and then they lost their religion. But today the legacies in Spanish and in Portuguese, you still have Arabic words. But my point was that when it come to Muslim Spain, the history of our legacy there and how people when really motivated, inspired by all our work that we've done there. That's also something that, sorry?
Also, I'd just like to say something. The first April Fool's Day was actually like a setup for the Muslims, if you don't know, at the time. Like, basically, the Spanish, I'm not sure, like the government, I think, yeah, they called the people, they were like, oh, you could come to this place, you'll be safe, and like, we're gonna make a peace treaty. But actually, there was like a whole army and they slaughtered the Muslims wildly.
I mean, actually, there's a celebration every year, even till today, of when the Muslims were removed or kicked out, exterminated, eliminated from Muslim Spain. They still celebrate that every day in a ceremony. So it's still celebrated today. And that's really where it is now. But the thing is, it's our duty to tell people about what we used to do, but also what's really important is, what are we going to do now? Because there's no point in saying our forefathers were great and we're not great. We can also be great. So we can also do those great things by contributing. So what we can look at take from Muslim Spain is that we also can be like that. And when you look at, so I was talking about Sicily, so I'll go back to that. The island of Sicily in Italy, if you go there, there's still historic documentation and accounts of Muslim rule there. But when Muslims were removed from Spain, even decades later, people in Sicily would wear Islamic clothing and they would speak Arabic, even though that wasn't their language. Because if you spoke Arabic or dressed like a Muslim, you were superior to other people. Just in the same way today, we feel inferior and we dress up like the Western clothing and fashion and way of life because we feel inferior in our own clothing. So they felt inferior because we were the people of knowledge, we were the people of civilization. So they wanted to idolize us and copy us. So the non-Muslims used to dress like Muslims in Sicily because they idolized us. Today it's the opposite. So everything seems to have gone the other way. So today we are not seen as people of civilization. Today, I mean, I went to Morocco a few years ago and I just went outside the city of Marrakesh, and they actually filmed Star Wars in one of the, I think it was Tunisia or Morocco. It's so underdeveloped or undeveloped. And I looked around and I thought, I was in this desert in Morocco and there was these mud houses. And I thought that I could be 4,000 years ago, I could have been in the same place. It looked exactly the same. And that's where we are today. So we look at where we are and it's just like we were centuries ago. Nothing seems to have changed in many ways. So that's really sad, and I know we can change that. So is there anybody who can give some motivation in terms of what you want to do to make a difference? You know, add value to this planet, add value to the world, looking at these incredible role models. Anybody?
I'd like to see Jazakallah to Dr. Dean for like letting me do this. And when I'm older, I want to become an architecture, but on the side, I also want to do like a youth work thing, like you. I want to do like a charity or something for youth.
Brilliant. What I'd say is keep your channel going and don't give up, because the thing with channels, YouTube channels, are they take time to grow and you have to commit. The minute you stop, the channel will die down. So don't give up and be consistent. Even if it takes you 5 years to grow your channel, just keep going. You'll get there in the end. So don't give up is the key. To consistency is the key here. A lot of people start a YouTube channel, then they give up. Like, I've been really busy. I haven't been able to maintain it. I wish I could, but as you're young, you can take a bit of time out. Be consistent with your stories, and people need to know your channel as a channel for inspiring stories. And then that will grow over time, inshallah. In terms of youth work, just message me and we'll talk, inshallah. Any closing comments by anybody? It's been really great to have you all here. Any closing comments by anybody?
iPhone asked, where did I find the info? I think it was on Dr. Dean's group, and also Sulaf, I think if that's to me, I started on the last 10 days of Ramadan, roughly on the 26th of Ramadan, so around 2 months, and I've reached around 1,000 views on total.
Wow, that's great. That's great. There's 1,000 people that have heard your stories. That's amazing. So never think anything is small. Never think it's a small deed. It's not going to make a difference. You probably started with 0 views and 0 subscribers, right? And that's where it starts. And today you've got 1,000 people that have seen your stories, and it will continue. And the good thing about YouTube is, I know I'm diverging to YouTube, but it's all about doing great things. Your videos will stay there forever. And that's the great thing about it. So just keep doing great things, guys. Thank you so much it's been amazing. 30 people came on Zoom today, and this will be on YouTube if you want to watch it again, inshallah. So thank you very much, everybody. Any closing comments? And I will just leave the link for the same video. If anybody missed it, you can watch it here. And please subscribe as well. Here's the link below. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, everybody. Thank you so much. It's been great. We'll see you again. We'll do another session. Thank you, Umair. Thanks, everybody else. Let me just quickly, before I forget, sorry. I'm going to quickly go through the other presentations, because I don't want to forget. We got a bit busy there. I'm really going to quickly do that because we're running out of time. And I know you probably got lunch with the kids. I'm going to share my screen quickly and show you. I hope you can see my screen. Can you all see my screen now? Okay. Can you see my screen? That was your one. This was Fatima al Fihri. Let me just go through this one quickly. Can you see my screen? Yeah. I can't hear you guys. Anybody? Yeah. You can see it? Great. So this is Fatima al Fihri. This was a presentation done. Let me just play it for you. Play it from the start. The founder of the first university in the world. Great. If you can stop writing on the screen now, please. Thank you. Let me stop that, the annotations. Okay. So she was a sister, daughter, wife, and friend, Fatima al Fihri. And this presentation, she put a lot of effort into the presentation of it as well. She was born in Tunisia in the 9th century. Please do not write on the screen. Thank you. She was from a well-educated family, and her father moved the family to Fez today in Morocco. And it was her and her sister who established it. But why did she build it? She built it actually, started in Ramadan. A lot of good things start in Ramadan, don't they? And it took 2 years to build in 896 AD. And it was a madrasa, but madrasas today normally mean Quran and Tajweed, but this meant Quran, Tajweed, Islamic studies, and all the sciences. It had a prayer room, a courtroom, and a library, and everything was studied, the geography, medicine, logic, rhetoric, Arabic. And this is the interesting thing that we didn't mention before. A lot of the greats came from this university. So you could think of it as Oxford or Cambridge or Yale. And here were many of the great thinkers and philosophers. And the Khalifas, the Khalifs of the Muslims, the Muslim leaders, even they graduated from here. Imagine the leaders of the country. Really, really amazing. And the Maliki jurist, Ibn Arabi. Incredible stuff. And the university kept growing. It says a capacity of 220,000. It might have been 20,000, I'm not sure. But the other slide said 20,000. But you had to pass an exam, almost like a UCAS application to get into the university. So you had to, can you stop writing on the screen so people can see what's going on, guys? Thank you. So you had to take an exam or UCAS application to get in to this university. You've got to be good at what you're doing. So here's some of the manuscripts from the university still preserved. So it had a library of 4,000 manuscripts. Does anybody know Ibn Khaldun's Muqaddimah, what that was about? Anybody know? Thank you guys. I've got one more, please. I really appreciate your patience, guys. I think I've got the last one here. Was this one the last one? I think it was. Okay, this is the last one. And this is about Fatima al Fihri as well. Let's see if there's anything different that we can learn here. And stop writing Umair on the screen, please. It's not fair on everybody else. Okay, thanks. So here's a timeline. Somebody's presented a timeline of what she did, what year it was, 800 AD, and very little was known until the 14th century about her, and then some historian picked out all the background of this great woman. So people didn't really know, forgotten about her. And what else can we learn that we don't know? Her husband and father passed away shortly after her marriage. So she had become a widow. I didn't know that. And then this building, the university, kept being improved and invested more and more money into it. We know about the library. And then it was renovated recently in 2016 by a Canadian Moroccan architect. So somebody went back and spent money and time, and this is why it looks like it does today. Thank you, guys. I thought I didn't want to miss out on that and presenting that to everybody. And inshallah, we'll see you all again when we present again. Who would like to have another session, inshallah? Yes, where are we? I keep losing the screen. I can't see anybody. Where are we? Sorry, I'm just trying to click on this to see how to get to the big screen. Okay, stop sharing. Sorry, I have to stop sharing. Okay. Okay, guys, I'll see you again. I'll post on the WhatsApp. If you're not on the WhatsApp group, please leave your number below and I'll add you to the WhatsApp group so you get updates on the next events that we'll do. And we'll start talking about issues over the summer holidays, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Take care. Thank you. Thank you, everyone.